Hi, Dawn Levine here, and today we're going to talk about historic hotels. So, we just recently went to Italy for 3 weeks, and for me, it was very important to stay right in the middle of the old town section of each town that we went to. And that meant that we were staying in old historic hotels. It was very important to me to be able to walk right out my front door and be right in the thick of things. I wanted to be able to walk to dinner and walk to breakfast and walk to sites. So that was very important. And we chose our hotels that way. So, one of the things that you need to know about that is these old town areas are, a lot of them have become traffic free. So, you may be walking from the perimeter of that neighborhood to your hotel. For us, we relied very heavily on the train system in Italy. And so we were walking from the train station to our hotel. And we did make some effort to choose the hotels based on how far away it was from the train station. But we didn't have any that were more than a 20-minute walk from the train station. But that means you've got to bring your bags and yourself from wherever you're landing to that hotel. So again, 20-minute walk with our bags from the train station to the hotel. There are sidewalks that are uneven or broken, sometimes non-existent. So you've got to be able to manage your luggage in this kind of unpredictable, uneven atmosphere. So that's important to know. We packed very light. With that in mind, we knew we were going to be doing that. We knew that we needed to be able to carry our bags. And so we were very deliberate about packing light and what we put in our suitcase. So that helped with getting from the train station to the hotel. It also helped with getting from the lobby of the hotel to our room. So another thing to know about old historic hotels is that, you may be staying in a building that's 800 years old. And it certainly was not originally designed to have an elevator, and probably wasn't originally designed to be a hotel. So there's some quirkiness that comes with that. Your hotel may not have an elevator at all, or if it has an elevator, it might not be one that you want to get in. So we, when we stayed in Venice, our hotel did not have an elevator, and the lobby was on the second floor. So we had to bring bags from the ground floor up to the lobby. And then our hotel room was a floor up from that. So every time we were going in and out of the hotel to and from, that was 2 flights of stairs, which is fine for us. We don't have any mobility issues. We were totally able to do that. We're all fit and healthy and able to do that. But it's important to investigate that before you pick your hotel if that's an issue for you. So we knew that we could manage the stairs, so we didn't really care if the hotel had an elevator. But if it's important to you, then definitely check it out, because some of the hotels might not have one at all. If they do have an elevator, it might not be one that you want to get in. Our first hotel in Rome, the lady checking us in said, get in the elevator. Your room is upstairs right outside the elevator. So we didn't question it. We just hopped in the elevator. So I got in with my luggage. My husband got in with his luggage. And we didn't have a lot of luggage, but still, all of that in the elevator. And literally my face was pressed against the back wall of the elevator. And then we could still barely get the door shut. So I made up my mind at that point. I'm not getting in another elevator. I didn't want to do that again. It didn't make me feel good. Some of the elevators, they don't look like American elevators that you would see in a big industrial style elevator in a hotel. These were tiny little rickety things that I just did not feel good about getting in. So I did not get in another elevator. So just if elevators are important to you, check that out. See what people had to say in the reviews. Maybe it's clear that's an elevator you don't want to get in. So definitely check that out if that's important to you. Another thing to know about some of the hotels that you should check on before you book your hotel is, do they have late check-in? We had one situation where that would have been important. We were struggling to get to a particular city, and we had some transportation issues. And so all of the hotels don't have late check-in. Some of these hotels are truly family run. I mean, there was one hotel that the son worked there, the mom worked there, the grandma worked there, the children, the little kids, the grandchildren would come in and out. It was truly a family affair. And they did not have late check-in. If you didn't get there before 9 o'clock, you were waiting to the next day to check in. So definitely be aware that not all the hotels, if you're in one of these little mom and pop establishments, they might not have late check-in. So look at that when you're booking the hotel to make sure you know what the deal is. And maybe you don't need a late check-in, but it's good to know, do they allow that or do they not allow that? So that's important to note. Other things to note, again, these hotels are often retrofitted from some other purpose. And so they're creating a hotel room and a bathroom where that was not originally part of the design of the building. And so you can end up with some really weird layouts in the bathroom. We had one bathroom where there was a little section over here where there was a shower and a sink, and then there was this tiny little narrow alley, hallway kind of thing, and around the corner there was the toilet and the bidet. So it was this really strange layout, and you'll see that sometimes. On that note though, not all, if you're staying in one of these types of hotels, you need to look at the description to make sure there's a private bath. Some of these little establishments, because of, they're trying to carve out a hotel where one didn't exist, there might be a shared bath. If that's important to you, you need to check that out. I wanted private bath, so I made sure all of my rooms had private bath. I didn't want to share a bathroom with a stranger. So definitely check that out. The bathrooms themselves have some eccentricities. The showers, because they're carving out this bathroom, the shower may be super tiny. A lot of our showers were super tiny. There was one that was so tiny that if you for me anyway, I turned around in the shower and I bumped into the water and turned it off accidentally. That's how small it was. And every shower that we were in was different. There was one that had these doors that met in the corner. And then there was another one that was curved and it had this telescoping door. And then there was one, and the doors just seemed flimsy. There was one where it was round and they met in the middle and there was a magnet to hold it shut, and that didn't work so great. So just be aware there's going to be some weird things and quirky things, but it's okay. You can live with all of them. You'll just make it work. You need to be flexible and not really fret about these things, because the trade-off is you get to stay in the middle of everything, yes, but also some of these buildings are just so beautiful. The hotel that we stayed in Venice, it was clearly formerly somebody's palatial home. It was a palace, and it still looks like that, and it's just gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it was just extraordinary. So definitely worth the trade-off. The location is worth it. The beautiful, quirky building. The quirkiness was just something that appealed to me. It's like, this is so weird. I love it. So definitely roll with it and decide whether you can live with some of these things. The descriptions that you see online are really good. If there's something weird about it, somebody's going to have commented on it in the reviews. Definitely check out the reviews. So we're going to Venice again soon. And there was this hotel that was right in the middle of things, but it was really inexpensive compared to other things in the neighborhood. I'm like, why? Why is it so inexpensive? And the reason is because this hotel is on the third floor of the building and there's no elevator. And so people didn't read the description. They come, they're disgruntled, and they leave a nasty review when they could have made themselves knowledgeable before they ever got there. So definitely just make yourself knowledgeable, see what people have to say about the hotel, check out the pictures, and just have a good time with it. It was just so awesome. Every hotel we stayed in, I would totally stay there again, even with all the little weird things. I just loved it. I think that's charming. So definitely be aware of those things. One other thing that you'll encounter with all hotels in Italy that you might not have heard before is when you check in, they do collect your passport. They don't keep it long term, but there's some information that they need to pull out of there because you're not an Italian citizen. They have to put this information in a report that goes to the government. They're going to look at your passport. Everybody who's in the room, they've got to look at everybody's passport, collect the information, and then they give you your passport back. If they're super busy, they might need to keep your passport for a minute. It's okay. Just don't forget to go back, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes later when they're not so busy and collect your passport. But there's nothing unusual about that. Don't be alarmed about that. So I hope you found this helpful, and don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe or all the other things. And I hope you will come back and see some of the other things that I've learned, some the hard way, some not the hard way, about traveling, particularly in Italy. So I look forward to talking to you again soon. Ciao.